쇼다운 T1 대 하나생명 e스포츠.
I'm interested in the bot lane matchup in general. I already talked about the supports, but I think Jiwoo against Dokdam, two players, a lot of potential, but definitely inconsistency is something that has plagued them.
So last pick has been feeling pretty good today, especially when you have lands on your team for Nongshim. But here in this matchup, I am curious to see how it is going to work because blue side selected by Kium. And then on the other side, DN Super's actually selected red side. So this is kind of an old-fashioned, you know, blue side has first pick kind of situation. And
yeah, first pick on blue side. Wow, that's don't see that very often anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, so rapid fire, getting out some of those power picks off the equation. Some things to note: Azir, Karma, Varus, Bard. Those are the ones I'm thinking. Bard, more specific to Andal. A pick that he was drawing bans on in the LCK Cup and has been getting a solid amount of bans in the LCK regular season. Karma's getting taken out. We are continuing the streak. Karma and Rumble perma-banned every single game so far in the LCK regular season. Now, there's the Azir, there's the Varus, there's the Bard. What are you taking out? Or do you just say, you know what? We are going second. Let's ban something else.
I think you can just give UCal Azir if he wants to play it. You have to take away the Bard from Ondil, so that's a good shout. A closer can play, it feels like 4 or 5 different champions into Azir, and UCal has looked pretty, you know, I wanted to say hit or miss, but it's mostly been miss or miss in the LCK Cup on the Azir. So hopefully he shows us that 180 in this first game.
Are they just going to secure Varus here? They're going to go for the Ziggs. We've seen this from Zeka, and we saw bans from it last series. There's Ziggs into Azir. And they're going to go Ziggs, Jarvan, not securing the Varus. And also note, Kium KRX, if they wanted to, could just lock in Ashe Seraphine here in theory, but maybe the Jarvan was there to kind of say, yeah, maybe don't do that.
Please don't. We don't want to see that anymore.
Guys, if you pick Ashe Seraphine, we will Cataclysm you and we will Mega Inferno Bomb you. I promise. So maybe that's the threat, and that's made Kium KRX rethink their approach. Instead, they're going to pick up the Xin Zhao, solid pick, and the Jace. Now, this is a little bit of a mix-up. So going for the Ziggs in the bot lane, instead it appears, and going for the Yone in the mid. Now, these could be flexed. It could, in theory, be a Yone in the top, but I don't know why you do that. I don't know why you would ever do that.
You should do that.
I think the logical thing is to match it into the Azir, which is a great matchup. You are weathering the storm a bit early, but you get to the point where you pose a constant threat and have kill pressure, and then you have the ult follow-up from the Ziggs, so you kind of form this dive composition. And right now, you have dive that can actually reach Azir. You have a Jace on the enemy team, which dive is going to be great into. This is looking good for the DN Supers. You just kind of need to round out the composition.
Yeah. Also, nameplates on. I was talking about, you know, Closer has so many different picks he can play into Azir. He's playing his Yone, and Dokdam loves Ziggs as well. So, like, this is pure comfort for them.
Yeah, they end up banning away the Sion, not wanting Dudu to play that in the top lane, but I think Dudu has plenty of picks he can play in the top lane.
Yeah, like, are you also banning Cassante here?
I'm a little worried about what's going to come in through in the support role. Leona is something we often see pairing with Ziggs, very solid as a 2v2 duo. They are banning Cassante as well, so that's something they're going to take out. So I think you just pick for Dudu in this situation, and you save that support last pick to really make sure you get exactly the matchup you want in the bot lane. But also, it maybe means you can be a bit greedier. The one concern I have is you didn't even give a look into the Ashe Seraphine. So that could be a bit of a trickier lane. It does look like maybe the concern of the dive potential from the Yone Jarvan is too much for that. Because that would kind of put the, you know, it's like you would have a rough time in lane with the Ziggs, but you would have a rough time out of lane playing that. So they're going to go for the Yunara. Are they just going to go for the Lulu? No, they're looking at the Nautilus. I think if you're playing Ziggs into this, you can kind of just go anything you want. You really can.
Duckdom's going to have a field day in this one.
So Leona's the thing that generally people pair with Ziggs most commonly. You could pick Alistair if you want. You could pick Rakan if you want a bit more mobility to match up with the Yone. But I think Leona's probably the one that makes the most sense just in terms of the 2v2 pairing, 2v2 power. And you're not even worried about tenacity stacking because you have, knockups from Jarvan and Yone. And we didn't even talk about Yorick. Yorick picked in a Jason matchup. I see a lot of people favor. If you get him with a Ghoulie Wall, and also you get the power from the ult. Gives you so much power on the side lane. I think DN Super's very happy with their draft.
Yeah. And another Azir first pick into Xinjiao draft that, I don't think it's bad. I think also they're not in the same position that we saw earlier where DK did this, but they had felt like 4 losing lanes. 3 losing lanes. This one definitely, comparable in the bottom side. They have a Jace as well. There are ways for them to win out early as well. So hoping they don't fall too far behind. I like these banners. DNS win. Our superstar.
Wow.
Well, which players?
All the fans in sync.
The superstar.
All of them.
Yes.
Okay, so, things like the Azir, the Yunara can be scary if they get unchecked, but I think they have answers. I'm feeling good about the DN Supers in this one. All those fans with the banners, feeling pretty good too.
Yes, me too. KRX up against the DN Supers. Let's hop into the rift for game 1.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
All right, game number 1, and that is the ward already down in favor of DNS. They're waiting for that one.
+1.
Yeah.
Already a big advantage.
GG.
Okay. Yeah, well, I think we do see Andal again going for the Glacial Augment into Aftershock. We did just see this matchup last series. And the Hens did a great job of demonstrating the interaction. Where if you're good with the Dredge line, you can interrupt the Zenith Blade. So we'll see if Andal is able to do it against Peter here and keep him at bay. I think one of the issues here is that, Ziggs early doesn't have that much pressure.
Yeah.
So Yunara will have wave access, will be stacked up pretty much constantly. Once you get a few points in your queue, and once you get some mana behind you, it feels much better for the Ziggs. Also, it's a champ that really spikes around. Anytime you're putting points in your queue, it feels really good. You get so much damage every time you skill it up. So, level 2 doesn't actually feel that amazing. Level 3, though, because you double level your queue at level 3, that feels good,
How about if you max your satchel? How does that feel?
Don't do that. Level 4, not so good. Level 4, you have to take your mine. And mines are so useless early. Not very good. Level 5, great.
Ooh.
Nice little dodge. That feels good.
Ziggs, pretty small.
Yeah. Hitbox difference.
Able to dodge the lollipop. And I think dude is just going to be just fine up here. The Jace here for Rich, definitely a comfort pick for him. As the satchel, very nice. And Andal going to take 2 turret shots. Oh, man. And now this Nautilus is just so low that he kind of just has to back. He's backing on a ward. That's going to be interrupted by a bomb, or maybe just an engage. Nope, actually going for Jiu. So pretty interesting here. A little bit of discourse between Duckdom and Peter. Jiu does push forward and does a bunch of damage to Peter. Although at the end of the day, Duckdom healthy is a little bit low on mana, though.
So this should have been a lane where KRX had all the pressure early. And a mistake from Andal ends up giving over so much to the DN Supers. Even though Peter's pretty chunked and have to back off. Look how low Jiu is.
Yeah, Pioshik, he's got 4 seconds on his flag and drag, but still, I think the damage is just there. Yeah, first blood goes to Duckdom. A little bit of help think he hit him with the shield or something. Closer here in a little bit of trouble himself is going to have to flash as Willer gets something done elsewhere. But first blood for DNS down there.
Yeah, I would have thought that like it would have been the flag attack speed. We didn't even flag yet. That's the normal way you get assist on Jarvan.
It's on cooldown still.
Yeah, so good gank, but it just kind of shows Andal overplaying your hand. This is not how you need to play the matchup. If you go in a melee range of the Leona, you're going to get mangled. That's how the matchup goes. You know, you should have watched the series before.
Or the Core JJ.
The Core
Episode
JJ
5
video
interactions.
featuring double lift.
Yeah.
That tells you exactly how you do it. You just got to, you know, break the wrist, walk away. You just got to disengage. Don't overcommit to it. Don't try and get stuck in up close. Because now you end up down summoners. You know, you don't have the cleanse. You're down HP. G was chunked. Knockdown basically does it himself, and it was the shield, the AoE, the slow that came in. Good call, Brendan Valdez.
Well, I was looking at his cooldowns because he got over the wall after the Scuttle Crab with his flag drag, so that's how he was able to get behind them. So was on cooldown, and yeah, just picked up some assist gold there. Didn't necessarily need him. Giu just holds on to his flash. He's like, well, you got me. And they did.
And now Doctam comes back to lane with a lost chapter, and he's feeling great. He's feeling really good. So, not ideal. Boom DRX in the bot lane. The solo lane it's the weathering the storm portion of the matchups a little bit. Dudu is close to having the ult. That's when the matchup starts to feel way better because Jace gets like, oh, I have a little bit more armor shred or whatever when I switch form. Yes, and then Yara gets a whole wife, which is a lot more meaningful.
That is pretty meaningful.
Yeah.
Getting a whole wife.
You know, Jace just develops his relationship with his hammer. He had it anyway. It doesn't really change things.
Yes.
And also, I'm in the mid matchup too. Now, Closer has his ult, a lot of threat there. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, Rich kind of just back in the bush. He's okay.
With phase rushing. He procced the melee phase rush, which didn't get nerfed. So, he's out of there.
Yeah.
But it does stall his recall a little bit. He doesn't have TP either. So he's going to be a little bit late back. Yone is such an uninteractive champion. He's like trading up in your face. You're Azir. Your jungler is right there, and it just means nothing.
It doesn't mean anything. It's very sad. Also, he's ahead on CS, so you know, the Yone, yes, he was taking a little bit of damage early on, but you have a Doran shield.
This is how it goes.
You go resolve second. You really do not care.
No.
It's just the Yone life. Must be nice. Gonna get a hook down onto Peter once again. And yeah, the Satchel's really doing a number here to the Nautilus.
Yeah, Doctor kind of burning through his mana a little bit too fast. The mines are expensive, and the rank 1 mines don't do that much. He did want to kind of dissuade Jiru, but he's kind of low. He needs a level up so he can get the free Lost Chapter mana. He also hasn't stacked his mana flow band fully yet.
Well, he used his satchel offensively to get a little proc of that.
Yeah.
You thought you could get away from Yone. You can't.
No. Right next to tower as well. That's what he does. But to be fair, are we really complaining about any champion putting Azir through the ringer? You know?
No.
If there's any champion that deserves it, it's Azir.
And they buffed Azir. Like, why did they do that?
They nerfed Azir for fair stand.
And they brought him back.
Brought him straight back.
They're like, well, the LCK is coming back, so, you know.
It's like when, when in comics, they would kill off Superman and be like, you know what? We can't have... He has to... Immediately, he has to come back. Next comic. Not even, like, late in the comic. Like, 3 guys, don't worry. Open it. 2 pages in, he's back. Please buy the comic. Superman's not dead. Don't worry.
Nobody's going to believe the next nerfs either. They're just going to be like, well, he's just going to come back anyway. Like, he can't die, so...
He always comes back.
Don't even bother nerfing him. Just buff him so we can permaban him and not have to see him first picked every game. I think that would be a nice little compromise.
Well, at least he was a little bit less present at first hand.
Yes. And then he got buffed.
Yeah.
And here he is again.
He's back. Did you miss him?
No. Well, at least he's not playing into Corki. I cast enough of that. And,
honestly, can we, you know, I think we've been a little critical. Can we just say how nice it is that we don't have Corki mid anymore?
yeah.
That's, you know what, that was a dub. We can give praise for that. The removal of Corki mid. Especially the poke Corki. No one likes seeing that.
The poke Corki with the giant package. That was just not...
You know what? I'm not sure which bothered me more. Seeing it and how OP it was, or seeing people misuse it.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which was worse. Because there was, you know, that period where people would like pick up the package like 2 minutes before Dragon.
Yeah.
When it was synced up with Dragon. It's like, guys, you just pick it up. Like, it's the same time as Dragon. Just
It's almost like
Dragon.
they didn't understand how strong it was. They were just like, yeah, we'll just use this to get back to lane.
It's almost like it was a psyop to stop
Yeah.
it from getting nerfed. It's like, guys, if you use it properly, they're gonna remove it.
Just
And you
like
know what?
a couple times per season. Like, don't overdo it, guys.
You know what? They were right. They did. they were pretty spot on with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we should stop playing Azir. If you don't want it to get nerfed, guys, you need to stop playing it.
Yeah.
Who am I kidding? They ain't nerfing Azir.
He'll always find his way back. That's just the way it is.
No, even if they do, though, let's be honest, they'll still play him.
You see Yone getting there, get a plate and get out. Does not care at all.
Yeah, just immune to caring.
Yeah. I mean, Closer could have played any sort of champion here. Like, he's played Akali a million times into this. He could even play Tristana. He even could have played the Ziggs. I'm glad that we do have kind of another answer nowadays with the Ziggs. So that's another good kind of anti-Azir
I want to see more
policy.
of it, to be honest. We don't have that much data on the matchup in the LCK, so it would be cool to see more. But I like the flex they did here. Lockdown does have the tier, which I'm not a huge fan of, but the Ludens is good. You know, he was maybe a bit frivolously using mana, so maybe it was like, I need a tier. Maybe he could have just not spammed abilities as much, but you know, it's fine. He has the Ludens.
Well, now he can spam abilities a little bit more.
True. But the game is pretty even right now. Dragon did go over to DNS. There's a second Dragon coming up in a couple minutes, so that should be the focus right now. Rich does do the little triple order to get out of the cage, but he's not having fun time. He was, then the Maiden came back up, now he's not.
Yeah, the chip damage is just a little bit too much for the Jace. Like, he can go for big burst trades, but then eventually Yorick just heals it up, sustains through it, as Closer is looking for the trade 7 miles under UCal's turret.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to travel quite a distance to get there.
Oh, no.
Rich? Okay, knockback is good.
Okay. He's holding on, just about. He's just about Oh, he's coming.
He's holding on, and might not be holding on for all too much longer. As the accelerated shock blast doesn't do a whole lot through the shield, and actually Pyosik just decides not to use his ult on it.
Yeah, I think if he did ult, you'd just get his flash for free. So I think it would have been a good. I think it would have been okay play. Maybe he was a little bit unsure. Like if I ult and he flashes, does he actually just kill me? Because he started to do a good amount of damage.
Is Willer there?
But either way, he slowed his recall down. He got. Oh,
that's the second time.
Doo-doo.
That's 100 gold that Rich. Well, the first time was actually fine because Willer was there, and then they helped kill the Maiden, and that helped out a lot. But this time probably shouldn't happen. Duck Tom, he's getting plates. He's playing
Ziggs. One of the saddest things about Ziggs? You know how they changed towers to make it so like they're like plates are as tanky as they were before. But you know how before the resistances increased?
Yeah.
As you killed the plates. And they changed it, so instead of the resistance increases, the health increases. It just nerfed Ziggs.
Yeah.
Because he would just execute on a threshold. Now you just satchel the last plate, and you only get one.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
It feels really bad.
I feel bad for Ziggs.
Do you think he should get a rework?
I think he should be... Yes, I think it should be buffed. I think he should be reworked in a positive way and buffed. And you know what they should do when they rework him? They should make it so every time he skills his ult, he gets Magic Pen. Because that's the in thing
Like
these
just
days.
10 flat. Like, yeah, it's pretty good.
No, he should get 5 Magic Pen and 5% for every rank in his ultimate. That's the in thing these days,
Yeah.
you know.
I think that's only fair.
Ambessa gets Pen, Zahen gets Pen, Pantheon gets Pen.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of these champions get Pen. Why doesn't Ziggs? That's my question. So,
Dudu's walking at him menacingly. Here come the ghouls. And the ghoulie wall does do
have
number.
a wife,
Yeah.
so that does make it a little bit harder to find the all-in.
But then Dudu's like, yeah, whatever. I mean, I just heal up. Take a good trade.
Okay, Closer now has Blade of the Rune King and the upgraded Berserker Greaves, so he has a lot of sustain. Oh,
Eventually, I think Rich is just going to die as the Q comes through, and Rich now in a lot of trouble. And there it is. The extension from Dudu just chases him down the long lane. And Rich on one of his comfort picks is not feeling very comfortable anymore.
and that's without the Maiden. You know what? I think it might be the year of Dudu. What do you think, Brendan?
I think it is the year of Dudu, yeah.
I think it is.
It was on hiatus for a little bit there in LCK Cup, but we're back. We're so
We're
back.
so back.
And it's Hextech by the way. Couple of Drakes already taken here for DNS as Willer's going to get on in there after the Soul Unbound. Closer just going to have to ult out. And yeah, just survives. Meanwhile, a full turret goes over to Dudu in the top lane.
Yeah, he was already winning the matchup. Now he is just absurdly fed. Yeah, he just starts to do so much consistent damage. He starts off, gets the Q down, and he's just chaining them. And Rich is like, oh, I don't win this. He does not win this.
No.
Well, it's not going to get better for you. I'm sorry, buddy.
Yeah. The bind Jace never feels good into the right player. You know, I feel like Rich has looked pretty strong on the Jace from time to time, and it is one of the picks that you can blind, you know, Jace, Renekton, stuff like that, but yeah, just kind of getting bodied by the year of Dudu this time around, not respecting the Yorick and what he can do on it. And I mean, a couple of dragons under their belts. The Rift Herald is available, and when you have so much pressure in the top lane, it just feels like the snowball is already getting rolling for DNS.
I mean, the thing is, DNS, we talked about like the dive potential of their composition, but if they play through sides, Dudu's miles ahead. You have Yone in a side who's so annoying. How can you pressure mid when they have a Ziggs? A Ziggs with tier as well. You just set him up mid, he clears the waves constantly.
Yeah, that's his job. Andil is going to flash and die.
Oh, the fade away. Knockdown threw the Q and walked away like,
Oh no. Okay, he's fine. Yeah, Duckdom knew that was going to kill him.
Just supreme confidence there. He's like, I'm going back to the wave. I will not give this Yanara a single play.
Pioshik's still bot,
Okay,
but that's Azir.
little reaction test. Dudu is trying to kill Herald. Rich is trying to stop him. I think you have to give it up.
I think really the only reason he had to stop is because G was pushing up there in the river. They didn't know 100% if Willer had backed. Willer is down in the bottom lane trying to gank Yone. That's not a thing. There's also a ward there. So, yeah, just go farm the jungle.
Yeah, so Andal's very far up. Flashes the initial engage, that's not enough. And then look at Duckdam, he's walking away. He's like, I got it. I know.
Yeah. He's not using the right skin, though, so.
He's using the brand new skin.
Yeah. I guess that's right in a different light.
Yeah.
Dudu is getting everything thrown at him, and the kitchen sink. And the oven and the stove, actually. They just threw everything in there. Even a Hex Gate taken.
How sad is this? You can't satchel that tower at that health. I'm going to keep complaining.
I think it really doesn't make sense, to be honest. Like, I feel like, you know, rework jokes aside, like, his satchel should be changed, I think. Just to make it comparable.
Give him Magic
that
Pen on
nerf.
his ultimate. Give it to him.
You know, as a Ziggs player myself, I would enjoy it as well. I think it's a great call. Or you could just change the satchel to make it like it was.
Brendan.
Either way.
Brendan, I'm not okay.
Wait, he made a rocket belt.
No,
Why did he do
I'm
that?
not okay. Brendan, I'm not okay. I'm not okay.
So,
I could have gone my whole life without
what are you
seeing
even
this.
dodging? I
I could have gone my whole entire life without seeing this.
Like dodging Nautilus hooks, I guess.
I could have gone my whole life without seeing this.
Also, like, Ziggs has satchel. Like, what do you...
He has satchel. You don't need rocket. Your satchel is your rocket belt. Build damage. How much gold have you spent on your tier and your rocket belt instead of building damage? Like, look at the enemy Yunara. It's just actually built that. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's so far ahead in terms of, well, just the kill department. There's no kill compartment. Yeah. I don't know. It's much easier to build an AD carry, let's say that. You know, it's a little bit more nuanced, let's say, to Ziggs builds.
My day is ruined.
Yeah. Well, let's see if he can make some nice rocket plays to make our day a little bit better. Otherwise, he's not going to have too much... You know there are times where you're playing Ziggs and they're just like barely out of bomb range? You could rocket belt forward to get yourself in range and get the chase.
You know those times when you're playing Ziggs and you throw your damage out and they just don't die? They're close, but they just don't die. And you're like, oh, imagine if I just had a bit more damage.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rocket Belt does a little bit of damage.
We are fighting for third dragon for DNS potentially. Hextech dragon. Shock Blast hits Doc Damn. He didn't Rocket Belt away from it.
Yeah, and Banana Brush control there was pretty good for Kium for just a little bit. They're going to drop down the Rift Heralds and try to use that to pull DNS over. As, yeah, the Ghoulie Wall does deny it. And unfortunately, they did not start the Drake. So,
the ghouls!
Not really using this pressure at all.
Wait, that's Jiwoo's ult down as well. That's huge, actually, for DNS. Big tool not available for Jiwoo. Now, looks like a good amount of poke has been put down by KRX. Oh, Pyoshik's going on the flank.
Closers took a massive amount of damage, and now the sweep comes in from Yukao. Only going to find the Yorick. Peter low on the right side, due to super low himself, and Pyoshik finally does get here, and the combo is good. Picks up a couple of kills, but Duckdom not able to rocket belt out of this one, as Kium DRX will pick up a big fight.
Yeah, big fight win for Kium DRX. They're managing to find the angles, and even without Jiwoo's ultimate, you know, especially when you have Fiend Hunter Bolt, so much power is in your ultimate, still able to provide the damage that the team needs. And the recourse just not there, and that was such a huge fight to win. Getting the Hextech Dragon, denying the potential of a Hextech Soul in the next one. We'll see the replay coming out. This chunk from Rich on a closer is massive, and the engage comes through. You know, Duckdam flashes the shuffle. The Rocket Belt wasn't needed to get out of it, by the way. Didn't actually help. Ults in return, doesn't really achieve too much, and then ends up dying. And it's just the core of Kium DRX so strong there after the shuffle from Yukao, following up, taking down the threats. The thing is, it should be DNS who are the ones engaging, right, with their composition.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the fact that the Yone just was a non-factor, had to ult to get away, and then just kind of did a tiny bit of tickle damage and then ran. He was just not part of the fight. I mean, Pyoshik was also chunked and on the flank and very late to it, so very wonky kind of discombobulated fight from DNS, and Kium just stuck together. And they pick up the first Hextech Drake, which is going to be very nice for them to get their snowball going. And it feels like, you know, Jiwoo hasn't been the main character, but now he is in a fantastic spot. Should be up to 3 items.
Rich had a terrible time in lane, right? Well, not in lane necessarily, but later on, got solo killed. He's doing a lot now.
Peter baiting them in and will be successful. They do go in onto the Xinjiao, though. We got TPs traded at the end of the day. Ducktop gets in. Immediately, Rocket Belt's out. Didn't want to be any part of that one. Pyoshik's super low. I think they just have to back away from this.
Well, that's what the Rocket Belt's for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's going Death Cap next. So eventually, he is going to be dealing some damage.
He's just behind the curve. He's going to be behind the curve all game. It's okay. It's not okay. I'm never going to get over it.
If you say it's okay, though, maybe you can. It'll help a little.
We need to talk about something else because it's just getting...
Zig's wave clear.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
He can Rocket Belt for wave clear.
He did use his ultimate to prevent them from actually sieging that, so
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
Well, at this point, it feels like DNS really have started to lose pressure on this game. It feels like Rich, despite the issues he had in the side lane and in lane in general, a big threat in these fights. A lot of poke damage, a lot of setup. DNS haven't really found an angle to activate their dive, their engaged threat. So we'll see if they're able to pull it off.
You could also say their poke is not quite hitting as hard for one reason or another. And, well, I do feel like the setup for DNS, especially on that last Drake, was a little bit sloppy, and they lost control of the banana brush. And from there, you know, it is pretty difficult to actually land some good poke. I mean, they only really do have the Ziggs. And a lot of squishy characters, well, at least the carries on the side of DNS, so the Jace is going to get a lot of value there. And, yeah, exactly like that. He is also going to satchel away, but yeah, this turret is going to go down. And KRX really trying to put on the pressure. Closer just trying to ult away. He will be successful.
I think that's a big nail in the coffin, honestly, for DNS, losing the mid tower there. I talked about how the Ziggs typically such a good defender off the tower. Oh, Dudu might be in trouble.
Yeah, he's just trying to turn on a ridge. He knows he is pretty much between a rock and a hard place here. Going to heal up a little bit, but I think eventually UCal just going to rocket it belt his way to success. Well, not quite. I think they're just going to try to leave the kill for Jiu, maybe? Because they should be able to eventually find him. Dudu does not have TP, so yeah, just a free kill over to Jiu. And he's getting really fed. Has that IE finished?
Lockdown ulted, I think, to try and stop UCal's back? Or was it to try and kill Rich? I don't know. He did ult the bot side of the map. I didn't quite see what he was aiming for, what he hit. But, yeah. Well, kill picked up there for Jiwoo, and with how strong this game started, how much DNS had the out-the-gates momentum, they kind of just tripped on the second hurdle. And it's really looking... They're not that far behind in gold, right? It's still possible. But we haven't seen this comp come together. Like, we haven't seen Closer connect on to... I mean, you're into a Jace, right? You're into a Jace, you're into Inara. You have a Jarvan, a Yone, and a Leona. Where is that been?
Yeah.
Need them to have a setup. Dragon's up now. So, get some setup in this area. Connect onto a target. Kill said target. That's the game plan.
Yeah, I feel like Kium is doing a really good job of, you know, taking the little lead that they got from that first Dragon and just taking so much of the top side of the map here. They got the mid turret. UCal's taking a free top inner. Now, they are giving up the Drake for this.
This is risky.
I'm not sure if that's worth.
This is a situation where Kium are leveraging their current position in the game, and they're kind of betting that we are going to have a good position in the next 5 minutes. And on the back of the gold we get, we're going to make it impossible for DNS to get the next dragon. Because if they mess up in the next 5 minutes and DNS get another dragon, they're in a terrible spot. Because they just, you know, they'll be Hextech sold. So it's a risky gamble, but it does allow them to extend their lead a bit more. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot can go wrong. You know, if you mess up a little bit of the team fight, maybe you don't have positioning, or maybe it just comes down to a smite fight, you know, and maybe Pioshik gets in there. He's been very good with the smites. Can just steal the Hextech soul away.
Okay, Doc Dam is approaching the point where he actually has damage.
Yeah. Has the Blighting Jewel. And, yeah, they're just going to start this off. I think with the Yunara in their position and no vision on this, Okay, the ult's gonna come through, so they know this is actually happening. Ondil is here, finds Duckdom, just gonna hold him in place for a long period of time. Jiu, though, ulting over the wall, and now he's gonna be taken down, super low, finished off by the Jarvan. Although Jarvan does fall, so now there's no jungler here for the side of DNS, but I think it's still too early. Are they gonna consider this? I think without the Yunara is very risky. Never mind, they're just gonna do it anyway.
It's just the poke is the threat. You know, Duckdom's coming over, but Duckdom used everything, by the way. He flashed, satchel, rocket belted. And he will have the satchel back up. Rocket belt maybe soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a smite fight, obviously, but I think this fight is pretty good for the side of DNS, as the Baron is going to go the way of Kium. And unfortunately, Closer pretty chunked out on the top side of this one. Also, Duckdom had to satchel out as the range was in there. The hook goes down on a Peter, and even though he tries to flash, eventually he will just die. And so the follow-up fight was not there for DNS. Although now kiting this one out, the ult comes through. Gonna take down Ondil. Closer wants a little bit more, and he just dies himself. Trying to extend the play and trying to get something after giving up the Baron.
Yeah, KRX getting the Baron, and honestly getting everything they really wanted from that play. Yes, we see Andal go down, but they get so much more. They go for the engage here, and Duckdom, like, he flash, rocket belt, satchels. Bit overkill to get out. Jiwoo steps up so far, though, to try and make the play and gets punished. And then it's this kind of awkward situation where it's like, okay, Jarvan traded for the AD carry. In terms of the fight, it feels good. In terms of the Baron, it feels bad. Well, I don't know what happened.
He's just dead in the bot lane.
Yeah, Closer's still down, so they did that without him. You're in Azir, and he used Zhonya's, it appears. I see.
Yes. He's like, I've got a turret. I will be safe.
That was a very late Zhonya's. Wow.
Well, he got flash out of doo-doo.
You know what? It answered my questions on how that happened. Duckdom is doing damage now. Actually doing damage. Just void stuff, and you're kind of seeing he's doing a good amount of damage at this point. IE picked up for Closer as well. The threat is there. There is damage on the other side, though. You know, you see Jiwoo with the Morph Mortius and his core items completed. He has the IE as well. I think it just really comes down to execution. There's a lot of threat on both sides. Now, KRX have a big lead, but it's a minute until a potential soul for the DN Supers. That is something that KRX leveraged. It's like, okay, we're going to give you the dragon. We're going to try and get a bigger gold lead. The risk is, if they mess up the next couple of minutes, they are facing Hextech Soul.
Yeah, this Baron push, after all, it was good to get, but at the end of the day, well, they are going to get this mid turret at least. Meanwhile, we got Dudu in the top lane. Looking to get some value there. Does have his TP up in just a moment, so we'll be ready to join the fight if necessary.
Bro, you made him. He just forgot about it.
He just forgot about it.
He just left it be. Dragons in 15 seconds. You needed that.
Yeah.
Well.
And they don't have any flanking wards, so this is just going to be straight up a Yorick running in a straight line at them. And they have a lot of engage, so hopefully he can just kind of get in there and do a bunch of damage. But yeah, no Maiden feels kind of bad. And he's also mid, so no vision on this one. Kium is doing a great job of holding the river and holding the choke. Ondil gonna go through the Leona and just kind of die. And meanwhile, Dudu doing a good job of tanking up in the front line, but Pyoshik as well gets pretty low. But Closer doing so much work on that back line. Accesses it, takes out the Yunara, and this will be the Hextech Soul for DNS on top of a massive fight to boot.
And that should just be enough to take the game, right? They have a Ziggs. It's all down to Yukar to try and defend. I think they might honestly just be able to push in an end. We'll see. We'll see. There's a lot of structures up, but they have so much tower taking potential between the Ziggs and the Yorick. Yukar has to make the hero play, but I think this might just be it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. He does have Emperor's Divide, but I mean, maybe he can put up a wall and just say, don't come in here. I'm not really sure when he's going to go for that, though. Obviously, all sights are on UCal. Until also here, UCal goes in, sweeps up 3, goes golden, but the structures are still falling, and they kill both of them after the fact. So, cool sweep, bro, they say. And DN Supers will take the Nexus down for game 1 with God. So, I'm sure we're going to be seeing more of
my soul. All I'm going to say, guys, if you're playing Ziggs and you get out-damaged by, you know, anyone,
유지해봐 일단 라인. 회오리 치면 회오리 쏴봐. 나올 거야. 이제 쳤어. 나 가보자. 나갈게. 땀 보자. 나갈게. 나가봐. 앞에부터 볼게 일단. 노틀부터 때릴게. 잡았고. 위에 가뒀어. 제이스 잡았고. 아지르 봐야 돼. 아지르 찔린다. 하나 잡았다. 위에 봐줘. 내가 가둘게 맞게. 못 빠져. 야 미드로 갈 생각해. 미드 끝내면 되듯. 끝내자. 끝내컷 보자.